Konnichiwa, Kyowa. We are going to be talking about why I moved to Japan. There's so many reasons. I don't even know where to begin.
移住したよね。
Yes, Iju and A&E, I'm staying in Japan. A&E. 帰りたくない、アメリカは地獄、失敗した社会。
はい、じゃあ今日はチェイスがなんで日本に移住したか細かく聞いていこうかなというふうに思います。
First of all, and America is just mecha abunai. I've had guns pointed at me before.
銃を突きつけられた。
Yeah, I've had that multiple times.
なんで
So there was this time that my friends wanted me to go buy something for them. I was being nice, just buying them some stuff for them. And they're pointing guns at me just for fun, like, you better go buy that shit for them. I was like, dude, I didn't have to do this. Why the fuck are you pointing guns?
Honmono.
Yes, honmono. Tomodachi. Yeah, tomodachi janai jisai. But, and I was in the car just to be cool in front of girls. They were sitting there pointing the guns at me, like, hey, look, I'm just sitting here. They're like, oh yeah, Chase, yeah, buy me that. Go in the store and buy me it.
その女の子にかっこいいと思われたいから。
Yeah, and they're thinking, oh, that's so cool, because they probably don't have otosans.
中二病っぽいんだ。
Yeah, because they're trying to, in front of the girls, show, oh, I'm so cool, I can just tell this guy who's, because I was older than these people, they were my kohai. Shipashita shakai, so they were.
他にもなんか危ない経験とかあった？アメリカ。
Yeah, and also, like, I had a person coming through my window, steal my TV. Another thing we could show a picture of, maybe. All my video games, I came home from school, all of it was gone. They put all of my video games into my clothes basket and left.
家にいたら殺されてたかもしれないからね。
Oh, for sure. People think that, like, Japanese people don't have, like, freedom of speech or, like, don't have freedom. But in America, you really don't have freedom. You say the wrong things to the wrong person, you will get punched. You will get shot. You will get stabbed. Like, it's not like, oh, you might get some crazy person to punch you. No, you will.
まあ N から始まる言葉とかね。
Yes, the N, R word. Oh, you say that in the wrong place. You will. Like, when I was in Chicago, when I was walking out of the store, this guy told me, like, oh, sono kuso hakujin wa, like, you shouldn't have come to this fucking store.
クソ白人って言われた。
Yeah.
黒人の人。
Because I was like the only Hakujin. They said like, that fucking white boy should not be in this fucking store. And even this cashier was like telling me like, you should be careful, boy. Be careful in this part of town. Because I was the only Hakujin and there's tons of homeless. She was super nice, but they were kind of looking out for me. So yeah, just like, hey, bro.
まあ要するに白人に対する人種差別みたいな感じだね。
Oh, definitely, yeah.
黒人の方が多い地域だと結構危ない思いをすることが多いんだね。
And they know that since I'm Hakujin, they're thinking I'm very rich or something. So they know like, so they were being nice. They were like, hey, bro, be careful. They're gonna try to steal from you. All they gotta do is pull up a gun, say, hey, give me your iPhone. iPhone wa sayonara.
iPhone のために実際に殺したりもするわけだもんね、犯罪者。
Yeah, or at the very least, shoot you once in the leg or something. So yeah, like Japan's most abunai chiki, it's definitely safer than America's most anzen na chiki. America no chian warusugiru de, warusugi.
アメリカの治安の悪いとこ行くとどんな感じなの？
You're gonna definitely see people with guns in their pants. That's how you'd first know that you're in an abunai place. The other one is on every window there's bars inside houses.
はいはいはい、あるよね、よく。
Because people break it in and start stealing everything. Any place like that, obviously, if you see any kind of broken windows inside in buildings, definitely. Kiyotsukete na. When I was in high school and middle school, and even in front of some of my family, like my family used to make fun of me for learning Japanese and being obsessed with Japan, so I used to keep it a secret from people. They would just completely judge me and think I'm some anime otaku nerd just for learning Japanese.
まあ日本は中国ってイメージしかないからね。
That too, yeah, so they're thinking eating dog, chugoku, there's always so much bad news about chugoku, game otaku. I actually was seeing a counselor, school counselor, and I told my counselor how like everybody's making fun of me for liking Japan, and her advice was literally, then don't tell people you like Japan. Swear to God, that's a real story.
それが一番いい解決策だよね。
Yeah, she was like, well, just don't tell people you like
バカ
Japan.
にされるなら言う必要ないじゃん。なんで言ったのじゃあ。
Well, no, I didn't that often, but like other people would know and they would like see me reading manga. They'd call me a weeaboo. Weeaboo is like the, what do we kotoba for someone who loves like anime to ge
バカに
Nihon.
されちゃうよね。
Yeah, so like as an American, 日本の愛国心は隠さないといけない。
それは窮屈だわ。
Yeah, so it's
アメリカ人だったらアメリカ好きでいろっていうのがあるんだよね。
Exactly. That's why though when I come to Japan, I wear the hachimaki that says Nihon on it, and I'm like, yes, I can finally embrace misebira kasu my Nihon no aikokishin. Because 多分日本人より俺の方が日本愛国心あるからね. Because I can appreciate the things that Japanese people don't. I seriously, tamani, have dreams where I'm in America, like I admit, and like I wake up like, oh, 安心した、よかった、夢じゃよかった。それぐらい like I アメリカにいたくない。悪夢。I even tell my Japanese friends after I wake up from that dream. They'll be like, yeah, Chase, 大丈夫な？どんな夢見た? I was like, oh, アメリカにおる夢見た. And they're like, oh, that's it? I'm like, yes, I know, it's そんなに怖いで. Like, I love how in Japan you can like any kind of music and people won't make fun of you. People think it's okay.
音楽の自由があるよね。
Definitely, yeah. People don't really judge you.
アメリカは音楽差別があるからね。
Yeah, America の方がめっちゃ差別ある. They're gonna judge you way more just from the music. Like, simply, the music you listen to will mean to them, oh, this person's dasai, henna hito, like just from one thing. You could say, I love Justin Bieber, and their image of you is just suguni, like, kyuni, mecha kawaru. But Nihon wa sonna ni nai. And yeah, the type of music, though, that Japanese people listen to is definitely more similar to the music I like.
ああ、何が好きなの？音楽。
Regular regular pop music that plays in the clubs here. Like a lot of Americans make fun of me for it, but I like all the type of music that plays on the radio here in Japan.
K-pop.
K-pop とか. So I don't fit in then when it comes to that. You felt that too, right?
そうだね。ラップばっか聞いてるね、アメリカ人は。
Yeah.
なんかもううるさいよね。
Yeah, so やろう。
メロディーがなんかないもんね。
Yeah, the show, I think so. I just,毎日タイムスー Another thing. 日本人男性平均身長と前身長はほぼ一緒。
あー、身長が低いとアメリカじゃ全然モテないっていうもんね、男が。
Exactly. And like in America, I go to parties, clubs, everyone was my 友達全員俺より背が高かった。
背が高い。
But in Japan, I'm just 普通。So I feel more at home.
ちなみに
normal.
身長何センチ
171センチぐらい。
だから俺たち身長全く同じなんだけど、それでまあ低身長ってバカにされることは日本ではないからね。
Yeah.
平均ぐらいの身長。
I've never been made fun of for my 身長 here in Japan.
アメリカだったらある身長。
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. So I was always 一番背が低い男性。
どんな感じでバカにされるの
Call me chibi or like, whose turn is it next? Like, 誰の番次は and they'd be like, oh yeah, let's do the chibi no ban. Like, and you know, アメリカ人女性は they don't 付き合う anybody 自分より背が低い男性。Well, everybody has to be at least 6 feet tall.
183ぐらい身長ないとバカにされる。
Yeah, because you'll be 背が低い。
日本人は全員チビってことになっちゃうね。
Yes.
それが嫌だった。
Very 嫌だった。So of course there are like shy people and outgoing people in every country, but America definitely has a lot of outgoing, very talkative people. Well, I just like though how in Japan you can just kind of do your own thing. You don't have people sitting there trying to talk to you all the time. Sometimes I'm just like, 今話したくない. Like you'll go into a convenience store in America and just somebody's gonna just keep talking to you, which sometimes is okay, but most of the times I'm like, please, I don't want to talk to you about the weather.
日本人はあんま話しかけてこないから、
Yes.
それが好き。
Yes, I love that. And I like how in Japan, like if you do want to talk to random people, you just go to a bar and then usually it's okay. It's nice. Japanese food, all the food here, even American food is better here.
ア
Everything.
メリカの食べ物も日本の方が美味しい。
Exactly, yes. It hits different, hits way better. All the ingredients are way more natural. America has way more carcinogens that are allowed into the country. Like there's so many foods that are completely banned in Japan because they cause cancer. One of the biggest ones is called red dye 40. Completely causes cancer. Like it's a fact. We know it causes cancer. But yet they put it in like almost every drink in the United States.
日本政府はそういうのも完全にバンしてるから。
Exactly, and they're putting in more natural ingredients instead of the chemicals that they put in American
アメ
foods.
リカ政府はお金儲けできればどうでもいいって政府は思ってるよね。
Yeah, just oh yeah, here something like Skittles, where it's literally been known to cause cancer, and yeah, just like dog food almost. Give the cattle dog food, almost like dog
企
food.
業が儲かれば政府もどうでもいいって考えだもんね。
Yeah.
税金払ってくれれば。やっぱイタリア料理とか中国料理とかもアメリカのものより日本の方が美味しい。
Definitely, yeah. Just use better ingredients, more natural ingredients. In America, they don't use real ingredients; it's all chemical.
食事が美味しくないというよりも化学物質を使っちゃってるからもう美味しい以前の問題だよね。
Yeah, it's made from just who knows what in a laboratory. Even Wendy's and McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell, Kentucky is better in
日
Japan.
本の方が美味しい。
Yes, like the first time I had McDonald's and Burger King here in Japan, I was like, oh my god, ほんまにうま。
すごいね。だからちょっと違う材料使ってんだろうね。
Yeah, definitely.
日本の。
More natural.
何が違う
It just tastes more real.
同じだと思ってたけどね、俺は。
No, it's 全然違う。
全然違う。
It's way better here.
で日本
Exactly.
はファーストフードさえアメリカより美味しいと。
Exactly. So Japan even beats America in our own food. アメリカの会社なのに。
これはすごいわ。
Something that I also don't like in the US is a lot of people who are always talking about racism in the United States. I've noticed that a lot of those people who are always talking about racism only hang out with other people from their race and their culture. I'm like, what? なんで? Why?
白人は白人と友達になって、黒人は黒人と友達になって。
Yeah. And those people, though, if you ask them about racism, they're gonna just be talking about how, like, America's such a racist country. But yet, you look at their friends and it's like, your friends are all the same race as you. なんでかな?
でもいいじゃん別に。
No, I know. I mean, I guess it's fine, but then they shouldn't complain about racial divide in the United States if they are themselves dividing themselves in their own little groups. I do love how in Japan people don't really talk about politics that
話
much,
さないね。
which is nice. In America, people fight all the time about politics, so it felt very like a brain vacation. Like I
政
was
治の
getting
話は
massaged.
基本タブーだからね、日本だと。
That's so nice. Yeah, basically, you go to a bar in America and all you're going to talk about is either sport, politics, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's a very sad thing in the United States, but a lot of kids are given kakuseizai, like methamphetamine toka, because they're not listening in school, because their parents are both, or okasan to otosan wa, they're all working every day. They're not really paying attention to their children. They have something called ADHD or ADD. In America, they get given methamphetamine,
マジで
kakuseizai,
覚
from
醒
their
剤
doctor.
赤ちゃんがもらう。
Yes,
なん
from
で
because it makes them focus better, I guess. So instead of actually fixing the problems with the kid's life, they just give them drugs. Just Isha-san in America are just basically giving, oh, here's yakubutsu, here's kakuseizai, just
覚醒剤赤ちゃんにあげるのは良くないよな。
So doesn't that just show you Americaは失敗した社会やん? Because the kid's not paying attention, they're just, so they're like, oh, my child, ADHD. I'd say like half of my friends growing up, they all were on Kakusei from their doctors. Adderall, methamphetamine, literally.
だからまあアメリカは大人になっても薬物中毒が多いっていうのはそういうところから来てるのかもしれないね。
Yeah, that too, exactly. Because a lot of the kids might, once they get older, they start taking more than they're supposed to, and it's just crazy. And the other thing is that like political correctness in America, especially California.
ポリコレ。
Yeah, purikore, it's gone too far. Where there's literally no freedom of speech. Like, there are people that will hate you for eating meat.
ビーガン。
Yeah, vegan toka. Like, they literally will hate you for eating meat or fish, anything from an animal.
なんで肉食べるんだとかね。
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
あと環境問題とかね。
Yes.
プラスチック使うなとか。
Yes, exactly.
それでいちいち日常生活で言ってくるやつがいる。
Yeah, so many. And those kind of people also, there's a lot of people that also get mad if you call them he or she. If you call them otoko or onanoko, they get so angry at you. And they might even try to get you fired or tell the boss, get you in big trouble for it.
実際に仕事で
So like there was a time when I was working at a supermarket, Warumato, where we had this order that needed to be taken out. And there was this woman, she had pink hair. And I had told, I said,
女性に見えた人。
yeah. And I told my boss, oh, she can take the order out. And she said, Chase, did you just assume my gender? And I said, oh, okay, my bad. I said, he can take the order out. And then she got mad and said, even more mad, I was like, I don't identify as either. I'm otoko to onanoko janai. And I was like, okay, then it can take the order out. She's like, I don't. She was like, oh my gosh, Shine, fuck you. She's like, ah. And I was like, what the heck? Well, what do I call her?
それがポリコレが行き過ぎてるとね。
Yeah, too far. I was trying to be nice. I went from she to he,
で、何が
then to it.
何が正解なのじゃ。
I think for her, they, them. No, that's the other one.
They,
The
them.
pronouns they, them, not he or
そう
she.
いう人がアメリカでどんどん増えすぎちゃって、もう生きるのがめんどくさくなってると。
Too crazy. You have to be careful. If you say he or she, it's like, oh, ichata, maybe I'm gonna get fired. クビになっちゃうかもしれん。
それが日常生活で実際支障が出てるなら、ちょっとめんどくさい
Yeah.
国。
不自由な国や。
自由じゃないじゃん。
いや、自由じゃない全然。
まあ要するにさ、そのトランスジェンダーの人たちは男でも女でもないからもう一つのくくりっていうのが欲しいってことでしょ。
Exactly.
それいいじゃん別に。
Okay, so like, yeah, and that's the other thing we gotta make sure we don't hate transgender people. That's fine if you're transgender. It's just that some people get too angry about it. Yeah, just too
になっ
much.
ちゃうってことね。
Too much.
それが行き過ぎて、
Exactly, just too
もう社
far.
会がみんな生きづらくなっちゃってる。
Exactly. Yarisugi. This is completely true. Just Google this. Hakujin, especially Hakujin men, are like the most hated type of person in the United States. Yes, just look at any YouTuber
なんで
that talks about politics in the United States right now.
なんで嫌われんの？
I know they just believe that like white men are just super privileged, so they just hate white people.
まあ人種差別を受けなかったり、マジョリティだからね。
So yeah, maybe majority I could.
まあマイノリティの人たちに嫌われるっていうのあるんじゃない？
Yeah, somewhat, but even a lot of Hakujin women hate Hakujin men. Like they openly will say that, talking about how much they hate white males.
特権階級みたいな見方をされちゃってんだ。
Yeah, a lot of things that Japanese people kanchigai suru that they like think is American culture, but in my opinion, it's not American culture. It's just America turning into a shipai shita shakai.
例えば
Like America used to be way more conservative, way more like Japan. People wore conservative clothing. There were a lot more. There were families still together, but like almost everyone is like rikon steru. Everybody. So many families with no otosan. So many.
俺もアメリカ人の友達いっぱいいるけど、8割以上離婚してるね、親は。
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
9割ぐらい。
Yeah, there's no more families. Kazoku wa owari, America de. So no one's being chanto sodaterareteru. Which is nothing wrong with that. It's okay if you're a single parent or whatever. The way the United States used to be and the way Japan are very similar. And I don't say that in a negative way. I say that in a very
ア
good
メリカ
way.
は昔日本みたいな国だったと。
Yes, they were very similar. When I tell Americans, especially older Americans, the way Japan is like today, they're like, oh, America mo so yatta mukashi ni. Just America's just getting crazy. Like when I tell them about how women here in Japan, there's a lot of stay-at-home moms, which in America is looked down upon, saikin. But mukashi no America mo like it was just like Japan, where there's a lot more stay-at-home moms, a lot more like the man just works, all that kind of stuff.
で、アメリカは最近なんでそのクソみたいな国になってると思うの？
I think it starts with families, a lack of family values America has nowadays. Japan still has those important family values that the United States used to have. And drugs, lack of border control, for sure. America just basically lets anyone in the country, oh, fine, blah, 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 daridemo haite iyo, nikoku shite iyo. So many people on drugs like fentanyl, methamphetamine, kakuseizai, just so many different
よ
drugs.
く YouTube の動画とかで道をさ、ゾンビみたいに歩いてるアメリカ人とかいるけど、あれも結構割と最近のことなの、ドラッグは。
Yes.
昔はそこまでひどくなかったと。
Yeah, of course not. And people think that the drugs are just coming from nowhere. They're coming from tons of different countries. The United States just lets anyone in. America has some of the nicest immigration laws in the world, so anybody can come in and start living there. So America doesn't really have a culture anymore. American culture is kind of vanished explanation. You come to Japan and you can see kids just going to school by themselves, families stay together, way more than in the United States. アメリカには家族があんまり存在しない。I mean, and also just, of course, the food's good, all that stuff, everybody already knows. Everything's cheap.
日本に移住してきてよかったんじゃない？
Yes, よかった。
今後アメリカに帰る予定は？
ない。
もう本当にない。
ない。
永住だね。
永住。Yes. Until I'm an OG-san. Oh, help me, Ken-san. その年齢まで。
はい。
日本。
頑張ってください。
Alright, so if you also think アメリカは不自由な国, please コメント。
お願いします。
If you hate me, コメントで。Chase, お前が死ね。コメントしていいよ。It's okay.
はい。
I love you all. And if you also agree with me, if you disagree with me too, please 登録お願いします。いいねお願いします。インスタのフォローお願いします。見てくれてありがとうございます。And you have any other questions? コメント欄にコメントお願いします。ありがとうございます。じゃあね。バイバイ。